Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and yesterday we took a look at what I think will be the best cards from Voyage to the Sunken City in Standard. We went class by class and we have early access. We have access to this sweet account that has all the cards, so we get to kind of, take a look at the golden cards and look really cool. So we're going to take a look class by class and the neutrals, what I think will be the best wild cards today, and well, I'll be horribly wrong as always, and then we can go back and laugh at myself later. And again, tomorrow we'll take a look at the absolute worst cards that I think will just suck and will also probably be really good and make me look stupid. The key is I will look stupid, and well, I'm okay with that. I put that out there, and I mean, I have this beard, unironic. I mean, look at that. That's not stupid. Anyways, let's take a look at what I think will be the best wild cards. And well, Demon Hunter, good lord, Demon Hunter sucks in wild, and I don't know what will make it better, but let's go with Boneglaive. I don't know, why not? It's an odd cost card that can go face for 10 damage. That's gotta be worth something, right? You get to dredge 2, although I don't think that'll be like super impactful or anything, but Demon Hunter sucks in wild, and I just don't know what any of these cards are gonna do. And an Arcanite Reaper in an aggressive deck like Odd Demon Hunter might be good, but yeah, I'm kind of reaching here. Maybe you say a Glaive Shark just because it's a good card, it's a solid card, or I don't know, a multi-strike, but like are you playing that in wild? Like, I just don't know, man. Wild Demon Hunter kind of rough, so yes, Boneglaive, absolutely broken in wild. I'm kind of stuck by the rules of my video, so there you go. Druid, what do I think will be the most busted Druid card in wild? Well, honestly, there's again not a ton of great options here, so I'm gonna go with the card that I went with for Standard because I really do think it is that good, and Kael'thas was reverted for reasons I don't know, and Kael'thas Sunstrider loves a card like Aquatic Form that's 0 mana dredge. You draw it, you play it, you cheat it, and just, yeah, it's a really, really good Druid card. And again, in those Kael'thas decks that love 0 mana spells, well, Aquatic Form is going to fit in very well. If you want an answer that's not Aquatic Form, you want a different insight on a card, I'll go with Bottom Feeder because Beast Druid is a good deck in wild, and it's just another Diremal. It's another early beast to play. It has synergies, again, with Aquatic Form, which I think would go into that deck. You get another beast out of your deck. It's buffed, it's bigger, so you could go with that. But for me, Aquatic Form is that good that I think it's that basically the strongest in both Standard and wild. And for Hunter, where basically Secret Hunter's pretty good, and well, Quest Hunter is ridiculously good, I'm gonna go with Barbed Nets. I just think this will be a really solid addition to Quest Hunter. I caught you $1. How about that? And yes, this is a 1 mana spell. It deals 2 damage to an enemy. If you played a Naga while holding this, choose a second target. I don't even know if you bother running Nagas. It's just more damage. That's all this deck cares about, is having more damage spells, and Barbed Nets allows you to do that. You could put in a Raj Nazjan probably, maybe to give you some more reach in that archetype. By the way, that's a lot of dust. I'm really feeling whalish with this account. But yes, I think Barbed Nets will fit in extremely well in Questline Hunter in wild, which is a very top tier deck, tier 1 pretty much, and I think it fits in a lot better. Like, I don't think you need this kind of value in that deck, but a cheap 1 mana deal 2 spell, yeah, I think it will be very strong in wild. My pick for Mage and Wild, I'm gonna go kind of out here. I'm gonna take a risk because why not? Why not? It's Diamond 2. It looks really nice. We have Commander Savara, 4 mana 3/5 Naga, Battlecry. If you've cast 3 spells while holding this, add those spells back to your hand. Open the Waygate. Quest Mage is a decent deck in wild, still to this day. And Commander Savara really allows you to abuse that. You can get copies of the quest. You can get more mana biscuits. You can get a lot of cheap stuff, and they'll all count towards the quest. I feel like if this card is abusable, if it's good enough, it's going to be abused in wild. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but I'm going to take that risk that it can help open the Waygate. Those type of strategies really be degenerate and do some pretty incredible things. Paladin, I have to go Radar Detector. Mech Paladin is borderline a good deck in wild, and giving them access to 2 mana And if believe me, you can make this pretty consistently draw like 3 to 5 cards with all the mech support, with Mech War, with all the Galvanizer, with all these incredible mechs. Even have like that mini shot bot or whatever it's called. There's so many good mechs in Wild that a card like Radar Detector is so easily abusable. And I think that archetype could very well make a big comeback in the format, and Radar Detector will be front and center. It is just a disgusting card if it hits just 3 cards, but I think you can consistently get more. Looking at Priest, I'm going to go off the radar. I'm going to go off a little bit and see that the switcheroo, Stone Tusk Boar, and Darkness combo will be a real thing and make this really scary. Because if you're not aware, Stone Tusk Boar is in Wild. It's a 1-mana 1/1 charger, and the Darkness exists in Wild, which is a 4-mana 20/20 that can go dormant. Well, you can give your Boar 20/20 in stats. You can copy it with your 3 mana. It's like a shadow spell. It copies the minion, gives it 1 health, and that's turn 4 40 damage. That could be degenerate as all hell. You can even run Finley, kind of counterintuitive because it's a minion, but still to shuffle your deck. Regardless, it's kind of gross, and you can just run it as like a one-off in like an Inner Fire Priest that just relies on stealing a minion from your opponent and killing them with it, which you can do. Like this could be a thing, and I'm going to take the risk that Switcheroo will be the best Wild Priest card. In Wild, I'll take another risk. I could play it safe and go with Fillet Fighter. You know, it's a 1-mana 3/1 pirate. It's summoned patches. It's just good in like Kingsbane Rogue, Odd Rogue, all these decks. It's a really solid card. But let's go with Swift Scale Trickster, because yes, it can get Smokescreen, and the death rattles in Wild are ridiculous, right? Like the standard ones aren't so great, but in Wild you have like Scrapbeard, Colossus. You have all these giant minions that you can do just stupid things with. And well, Swift Scale Trickster, you can get even earlier with like a counterfeit coin and all of these kind of busted strategies. If it's gonna break the game, it's pretty likely to happen in Wild. And whenever you put something to it costs 0, well, you're playing with fire, and this card may absolutely torch the Wild format. As good as Scalding Geyser is, and it's probably the best wild card too, I'll go a little bit off because, I mean, look at this card. It's gorgeous. Bioluminescence. You can do some really gross stuff with this spell. 3 mana, give your minion spell damage +1. You have Call in the Finishers. It's like a 4-mana spell that summons a bunch of Murlocs. You can just attach it to that. Do a giant OTK combo. And again, Wild's pretty good at getting that stuff done. So I'll give a shout out to Bioluminescence. English is difficult, as being the best Shaman wild card, even though it's probably Scalding Geyser. Warlock, again, it's either Murlocs or Abyssal Curses, and I don't think Abyssal Curses are going to be good in Standard. I certainly don't think they're going to be good in Wild. So let's go with Blood Scent Vilefin, the 4-mana 4/4 Murloc Dredge. If it's a Murloc, change its cost to health instead of mana, because Wild also has access to a Murloc that when you play it, your next Murloc you play this turn costs health instead of mana. So you can do a bunch of mana cheating. And will Warlock be a thing in Wild? No, probably not. But that's literally all I have to work with here. And maybe Gigafin is just really good in Reno Lock or something. You could go with that too. But yeah, Warlock, I'm not getting a heck of a lot to work with from Wild, I don't think. For Warrior, again, we're kind of not in the best spot for cards. And I'm going to go with Obsidian Smith. I think this is a realistic, you just play this in Pirate Warrior, which is a tier 1 deck. It's a 2-mana 3/2 Pirate Battlecry Dredge. If it's a minion or a weapon, give it +1/+1. Pirate Warrior only runs minions and like 1 weapon, so you're guaranteed to get a good hand buff. It's relatively cheap, and that's all you care about. So you're gonna play it in Questline Pirate Warrior, and it's gonna be pretty good. Other than that, you take a look at the Warrior cards. Control Warrior doesn't work, and all these cards outside of maybe From the Depths, I just don't see making really a big impact in Wild whatsoever. Even Nelly the Great Thresher is just too slow. You're not probably going to want to play that in Wild. So yes, 2-mana 3/2 Pirate, it's pretty good. And I think Questline Pirate Warrior will be able to use that. And my pick for the most busted neutral card in Wild is, oh wait, this is already out, we've already played with it, but it's probably Blade Master Okani. This card is disgusting in Shadowwalk Shaman, but let's go with a different card to make it a little bit more fun. I will go with Gorlak Ravager, 5-mana 4/3 Murloc that draws 3 Murlocs. There's a lot of good Murloc decks in Wild, and this is an obscene card draw engine for those decks. That's one of their big weaknesses, is they run out of cards. Well, this makes it so you just don't run out of cards in any Murloc deck. It is ridiculous. It's super good, and I think every Murloc deck in Wild going forward will want to run this, and also in Standard, but I think it's more prominent in Wild. So there you go, my picks for the most busted Wild cards from the latest expansion. And yeah, tune in tomorrow. We'll take a look at what I think the worst cards are, and let me know in the comments below what you agree with and disagree with. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.